oh no, I didn't want children, I don't want kids, and it's something that we don't talk about a lot. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'll do this video while I'm out and about as it's sunny on my little walk home. This was like an impromptu video because I just had a conversation with this gentleman who I normally see every morning when I drop Aurora to school. I never really speak to him, but today we kind of crossed paths and he stopped and he looked at Araya. He's like, oh, she's beautiful, how old is she, what's her name, that kind of stuff. So he's an older gentleman, he's like about 63, but he's quite fit, he's super fit, and he just rides his bike every day. I don't even know how the conversation actually got to this. Yeah, I know he was just talking about children, how he loves children, and how quick they grow. And I said, oh, have you got any kids? I shouldn't ask that question because it's a touchy question, but when I did that, then I was like, oh, I shouldn't have asked. But I said, oh, have you got any kids? And he said, yeah, well, no, I don't have any kids. I would have, but my ex-wife didn't want any children. And I said, oh, that's a shame. And he said, well, to be honest, I found out afterwards that, before we divorced, that she had had a baby and she had basically had an abortion without telling him, and that kind of made the relationship go sour. They went through a divorce, but it was a bitter divorce, and he was, about to kill himself, and how, he gave God the glory that God was the one, that stopped him from committing suicide. When he was talking about his, the baby thing, I've literally saw the pain in his eyes, even though he was smiling. He said, I'm gone past it, I'm happy now. I keep smiling. That's what my purpose is just to spread peace and just happiness to everyone. And I thought that's quite a beautiful thing, just to still be smiling and still be happy regardless of what he went through. And it just makes me think sometimes we can be a bit horrible to one another in a relationship or marriage. I get where the woman is coming from, and it made me reflect on my own personal life and marriage, because we were in that place where Tommy was so up for having children. He was ready the moment, before we even got married, he was so ready for it. But I wasn't. And I just kept stalling and stalling because I was fearful, just because of fear of, whether I'll be a good mom, and just fear of pregnancy, fear of birth, all of that kind of stuff. It used to just scare me. I would put off having children for as long as I could, and obviously when I then eventually decided to have children, then we had the difficulties with ectopic pregnancies and all that, and it just made me start thinking, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to have children. And I kept saying no, and obviously it kind of made him upset. That's his purpose. If you know Tommy, you know that he loves being a dad. That is his, I think that's definitely his calling, being a dad. And I feel like if I had definitely said no to having children, it would have distraught him. It would have broken him to pieces. And I don't know if we would have been together, to be honest. So, because a lot of people get married because they want to have the children, they want to have the family, and that's fine. And some people just get married just to have a partner, someone to live with. And I don't know. That's up to each individual, really. So for me now, having my children, I couldn't think of life without them. And they sort of give you purpose, and they teach you about yourself. And I feel like if I hadn't had children, for me, I don't think I would have learned a lot about myself. I wouldn't have grown. I might have grown, but I don't think I would have learned the lessons that I'm learning now, having children. What I'm trying to say is, just to encourage someone, I guess, out there that may be in the same position, because I know I'm not the only woman that might be like, oh no, I didn't want children, I don't want kids. And it's something that we don't talk about a lot. Just kind of bottle these fears in or worries in and just think, no, I don't want kids. But you really do want children, but it's just the fears that are holding you back, and the concerns about pregnancy or how the children will change the dynamic of your marriage. So or whatever the reason is, you might feel like when you have kids, you might have no freedom. You might just be bound in the house, or yeah, whatever the reason is of not wanting kids. I just want to say, like, if it is something that you do want, just don't look at other people's stories and think, oh no, see, that's the reason I don't want to have kids. Let your fears get hold of you, because children are such a blessing. Yes, they're stressful. They can do your head in. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. It can be hard, but the overall thing is, they are such a blessing. They just bring so much joy to your life and stress to your life, but the joy overwhelms the stresses of it all. And before going into marriage and in a relationship, you need to talk about these things. We need to be much more open about and honest how we truly feel. If you want kids, if you don't want kids, and if it's a maybe, just say, be honest with how you see your family dynamic as. And if you're the other person that agrees to not having children, don't hold it against your partner for not wanting children either. Before you get married, talk about children. Talk about how many you want. Also, you just have to think whether you're going to have the help, because if you don't have help around, it's going to be hard. And talk about finances. Be open with it. If you're a person that doesn't like talking about finances, you're going to have to just buckle down and talk about it, because that's one thing I was just like, why do I need to talk about finances? Why? But now we're at a much better place. We talk about every single thing. Conversation with that man just made me think about that, and how sometimes these things can cause marriage breakups. You know, children can. But this is why we need to be much more open and honest, and understand that not everyone has that desire to have children. But don't hold it against that person, and don't lie to your partner that you want children when you don't really want them. Just felt so sorry for him. His little 63-year-old man, you know, just lives by himself and divorced. But I'm just happy that God saved him and that he didn't kill himself, and that he still finds joy in life. And that's what he said to me. He said, and whatever you do, make sure that you're happy. Just make sure that you make every day a happy day, no matter what. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. And that was like my little confirmation, because that's what I told myself this year, that I'm going to be happy no matter what the day brings, no matter whether it's a hard day. I will be, you know, things will get hard, but I just have to be happy and grateful for everything that I have. I'm up, I'm alive, I am healthy, and I've got everything to be grateful for. So those little things that may come and try and disrupt the day are just minor things, but just continue to be happy. So that's what I'm going to take from that conversation. And also that, you know, in our deepest, darkest moments, Jesus is there with us when we cry out to him. Because that's what he said. He said he was on a window ledge and he was about to kill himself, and he said he was crying. He said I was choking up, crying so hard, and he said, God, if you're real, I want you to show me, help me to not, no, he basically said, yeah, God, if you're real, show me that you're real, and I won't kill myself. And God showed up with him. He just said he heard like a voice saying, don't do it. But the way he explained it, said it's not like a voice that was coming out of nowhere. It's as if he was talking out of his mouth. But I didn't really understand that. But he said he believed that it was God that stopped him, and before he wasn't a believer. So that goes to show that God will step in no matter what. If you're open to him showing himself to you, he will show himself to you. Just ask him. So that was my take on that conversation, and it was just a very random conversation, such a timely conversation as well. Hopefully you guys are encouraged with that, and hopefully you're having a great day. But let me show you the scene today. It's so sunny, so sunny. Listen to the birds. I like coming here sometimes. It's just so peaceful and just quiet. Araya's still sleeping. So tired, this little girl. We'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, and spring is here, guys. Spring is here. We made it through the winter. See you guys in a bit.